Hey, man. Haven't seen many people talking about this. Pretty interesting for those with a physical Game Boy. What?
It's time to dust off your old cartridges and get ready to play your Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games on your PC or Mac.
What's this? This is fire.
Store and transfer your Game Boy games to your PC, Mac, and soon to be Linux PC. Just imagine a cartridge slot in your PC, because that's basically what it is, but with far more awesome features.
You said just emulate. No, this is even better, because then you could just, if you got the games, you could just, this is cool.
The GB operator is made by a small team of passionate retro gamers called Epilogue. They have built the GB operator to simply preserve gaming history and to allow Game Boy fans to use their old cartridges in new ways. So, Brandon, how does it work? Well, the GB operator is incredibly simple to use. Simply install the application or software to your Mac or PC, open it, add your cartridge, and voila. The user interface within the application is easy on the eyes, looks professionally designed, and allows those that are new to this sort of stuff to be welcomed with open arms. When your cartridge is inserted, you have a number of options to choose from, the main option being play. This quite simply allows you to play your Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance cartridges directly on your PC and Mac using a keyboard or a connected wired or wireless controller. It uses an emulator called MGBA, which is one of the best out there, and has very little issues when it comes to frame rates, audio quality, and performance. This emulator comes with controller support, cheat support, and button mapping too. What the GB operator also does within the application is tell you if your cartridge is official or counterfeit. Nowadays, it's becoming increasingly hard to determine whether or not your cartridge is fake or real.
Wow, it even tells you if you got a real or counterfeit cartridge. That's cool. That's cool.
So this is a really nice feature for the Epilogue team to add. This just helps you find which part of your collection is real and allows you to click your way back into eBay to give those resellers a 1-star review. If you press the data button, this will take you to the section of the application that allows you to rip your Game Boy files in order to save your collection to your PC.
And you could rip the game files off the cartridge and save it to your PC. This is amazing.
Allows you to keep your save states, which is great because we've all been a culprit to losing our precious save states to dead batteries. Now let's talk about the build quality. Seeing as Epilogue is a startup that are diving headfirst into the retro scene, they have done a cracking job with the build quality of their product. It all starts when you receive the GB operator. The packaging is designed nicely, and when you open it up, everything sits perfectly inside, and it has this subtle Apple unboxing feeling to it due to the tiny box and minimal manuals. The unit itself is made with a high-quality transparent plastic, and it has been designed to look somewhat like a dock. Your Game Boy game will look as if it's sitting on a throne on your desk, instantly pulling in your attention. And because the shell is transparent, you can see the internals, which makes our desk look even more techy. It has a very bright LED light that indicates if it's plugged in or not, and it will also turn green when you're downloading the game files. In my personal opinion, the LED light is a little too bright. In the evenings, we find it's the brightest light in our room, so we found ourselves unplugging the GB operator in order for us to keep our eyesight longer than a few days. At the bottom of the GB operator, Epilogue has added a slab of rubber with their logo on it in order to keep your device stable on your desk. This is a very high quality rubber, and we like that they've stayed away from tiny rubber feet instead. The slab of rubber adds this quality to the product, and you can tell that some time actually went into choosing how it sits on your desk. Now let's talk about the emulation. It's quite simply near perfect. In fact, it's so good, you'll think you're playing on official hardware. The emulator simply rips the game and emulates it through the software within Epilogue's application. Before you press play, there's a few settings which you can change. For example, you can connect a gamepad, which is connected to your PC or Mac, and in a future update, which we've been told is coming in a week of uploading this review, you'll be able to map the keys on your keyboard and have even more emulator and device settings to tinker with. When you press play, the game loads within seconds. The transition between inserting a cartridge to playing the game happens in quite literally 5 seconds flat, unlike the Hyperkin Retron Square, which we reviewed a few weeks ago, which has a fairly long wait time in order to load a cartridge. The gameplay is near flawless. No frame rate drops, no screen tearing, no delay when pressing buttons, just smooth, reliable gameplay throughout all cartridges. We did have, on occasion, moments where our cartridge kept getting disconnected, but we found out this was due to dirty connector pins. Once cleaned, it worked perfectly fine. Audio is also pretty good too. We heard the odd crack now and then, but overall, the audio quality sounds great. Now moving into more detail about some of the smaller features, as mentioned before, playing Game Boy games isn't the only thing the GB operator can do, and this is where things get interesting for those of you that love to tinker. When you go to the Data tab, you'll be greeted with a few options. One being Download Game, which allows you to rip the game from your cartridge and store the ROM file on your Mac or PC. Next, you have Upload Game. This allows you to add your own game or a ROM file to the cartridge.
This is so good. How much is this? Because then you could save every game you have, and then you'll forever have it. Even though you could go, because I mean, like, I feel like this is better, because instead of going to those sketchy websites like coolrom.com and shit, sometimes you might get a virus, you know? Who knows? You might get a virus, you might run into ads and shit, but then with this, if you have the actual cartridge of the game, you're like, let me put it in my PC. And then you're good. And it's $50, that's not even that bad to download the game. You could download your save files. You could upload save files. That's pretty cool.
You have inserted into the GB operator. This is good for those of you that like to create your own Game Boy games.
You said, wait, you could download games into a random cartridge? No, you can't download games. I don't think you could download games into the cartridge. I think you download it out the cartridge and you could keep the ROM in your PC.
So a download save button, which allows you to extract the save file data, allowing you to store all of your precious saves on your PC and Mac. And then finally, there's an upload save button, which allows you to upload your saves to the inserted cartridge. For example, you could have 2 Pokemon Yellow games, but you want to transfer the save file onto a different cartridge. All of these features combined bring a ton of value to the GB operator. Not only is it a perfect way to keep your games and save files, but it's also a way to extract your ROMs legally in order to move them to your retro handhelds. Overall, Epilog's first product is an impressive start to what we think will be a highly respected company in the retro gaming space. The design looks modern, and due to its transparent shell, it fits well with any retro theme you may have. But where the quality really shines is deep within their software. Everything is easy to use, easy to understand for newcomers, and works efficiently as it should. Yes, we experienced a couple of minor bugs since reviewing it, but we've been told these will be squeezed out in a quick update. And the bugs are so minor it has very little effect on the performance or experience we've had with the GB operator. We're impressed. And for
That looks super cool. I like that. Thank you.